Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the Ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
People that are around livestock and horses every day will understand this. Bad-minded horses are worth more effort than bad-minded people. Amen. Good morning, everybody. Here comes Kate Smith, and God bless America, followed by a patriot with our Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, my goodness, it's Thursday. Good morning. And a good morning to you, Zeb at the Ranch on a Thursday morning with our major sponsors, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you, along with some of our great advertisers, including Western Waste Services, always at your disposal. Call them, get on the route service today at 734-6969. Right now, without further ado, let's have our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And it is good to hear from you, my friend. Call back in a little bit, Doug. Thank you so much.
What a beautiful morning.
It is. God's blessed us. Thank you, sir. Right now it's time for the weather, and the weather brought to you by K&R Rental. They get there early in the morning at 256 South, 600 west of Hayburn, and that's, of course, K&R Rental with Roger and the whole crew. And they've got all your tools and equipment, from forklifts all the way down to a hammer. I'm telling you, they got it all over there, and they've been in business since 1979, and they've got the experience to find and have the right tools and equipment for your projects. Get a hold of them today. K&R Rental, 678-3122. Right now, here's the weather.
Here's your weather forecast as we saddle up and ride again for another Thursday. Today going to be very nice. Going to see some sunshine, looking at a high of 58 for today. Going to be slightly breezy. Winds out of the east-northeast right around 8 miles an hour, becoming north by the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low right near 36. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high of 63, slightly breezy. Winds out of the west-southwest right around 10 to 16 miles an hour. Gusts possible as high as 24. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low of 41. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high of 66. For Sunday, partly cloudy skies, looking at a high of 55. That's your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
Thank you, Gina, and brought to you by K&R Rental. Really good people, and believe me, they, like I said, I don't know how they keep an inventory on everything. They've got all the tools. Everything, like I said, from forklifts to painting equipment and hand tools, everything at K&R Rental, 256 South, 600 west of Hayburn. Number to call, 678-3122. Hey, Merv May, come on in here for a minute.
All right, hey, good set of steer calves. They're here to get all the 31 woman land.
Oh, that's the chant of the world's best auctioneer, Merv May, at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. And the number to call for sale information and cattle consignments, 678-9411. Merv May, Cade Rocky, Lance Udy, the sale that works for you. Here's just a little bit of the run that's going through the ring today, starting at 10 a.m. Mike Centerusa up there at Carey's bringing in 35 head of real good yearlings chickens weighing about 800 pounds. Shad Mulder of Rupert bringing in 40 head of calves, good calves. And Spencer Land and Livestock coming down off the hill from Yost, Utah, 2 semi-loads of butcher cows, and also butcher cows coming in from Acme Dairy, Oak Valley Dairy, TLK Dairy. All of this starting this morning at 10 a.m. at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. 678-9411, the sale that works for you. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, it gets the steer calves there here to get all the 31, 1.5, 31, 1.5, and 32, 2.5, 3.5, 134, 4.5, and 5.5, 5.5, 130, 550, 135, and selling $1.35. Zeb Bell gets bottom again.
Oh, my. Busy, busy day. All it was a good sale over there with Merv and the crew at Burley Livestock. And we've got a lot of things going on here this morning. We've got full hour of conversation right now, the open forum, and then the Chamber of Commerce report next hour, and Denny's football breakfast giveaway, a Grand Slam breakfast giveaway, if you'll just call in with the right answer. Rita's going to be on the phone with us at 9:30, Rita Ramsey. And going on down the list, Cassia County School Days, our business salute, and then at 10:32 this morning, I'm going to read you something that I think is one of the best responses to the NFL overpaid, underworked athletes that are taking a seat during our national anthem. It's one of the best things I've ever read, and it was written by rocker and hunter Ted Nugent. Very interesting. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Danny's Restaurant at 611 North Overland in Burley. You know, that's easy to say. That sums up the whole commercial. It's good. All the food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all the time, anytime at America's Diner, Denny's Restaurant. You're going to love it. And they've also got a location at 291 Pole Line Road in Twin Falls. And breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the menu, the people, oh my, stop in today. If you're hungry, they can take care of you at Denny's Restaurant. Yes, America's Diner. And also, I want to remind you, too, some dear, dear friends of ours, and they've been riding the horse with us for a long time on this program, and that's Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. The number to call is 678-0459. Now, the weather forecast for the next couple of days, not too bad. You know, hanging around, maybe the low 60s and everything, but you know that we're going to get a blast of Arctic coming in here, and it's going to get chilly. Make sure your furnace is running efficiently with new furnace filters from Ramsey Heating and Electric. 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley, open 7:30 to 5 Monday through Friday, where they provide warm winters and cool summers. By the way, today is a day that I'm very happy to announce. It's called Bring Your Bible to School Day. That ought to put some people's ears on edge. Yes, today, Thursday, October 5th, more than 500,000 children will participate in Focus on the Family's 4th annual Bring Your Bible to School Day. And spokesman Candy Cushman said, bringing a Bible to school is an opportunity for students ranging from kindergarten to college to share their faith in Christ. And they should not, underline this, they should not worry about violating any laws by bringing their personal Bibles to school because of federal court rulings. This is a well-established constitutional right that kids can bring their personal Bible to school and discuss biblically and all that's in the Bible with their classmates or anybody else. That is legal. And, you know, I like to make a little side note on that, too. You can take your Bibles to school. You can read them at school on your free time. Yes, you can talk about the Bible during your free time. No one, underline that, no one can legally say or do anything to stop you. And locally, and I mean this, I've called the people that I've had on my program for years, the different legal authorities. If anybody tries to stop you or tell you that you can't do that, please call me. Please call me and let me know. And we will, in a very polite term, unleash the hounds. Enough said. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Yes, I'm just going to say that if you're offended by my saying we need more God in our lives, or we need more of Jesus' teachings daily in our lives, call me. Disagree with me. Or, like many cowards do, they give me an email or they call me on my cell phone later. But I will tell you that I feel sorry for you if you disagree with that. The world is coming apart at the seams. And I believe as Christians, we need to try to sew it back together. Don't forget Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. I don't care if you fell off the monkey bars or if you got hurt at football practice or maybe you had a sprain, a strain, or just recovering from surgery. They can help. I mean, my goodness, they have the greatest of physical therapists over there. And they've got all the exercises and that one-of-a-kind hydrotherapy pool in this area. Oh, my goodness, it's helped me. They can help you. Call and make an appointment today, 678-1191. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, 678-1191. And come on, give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. You know, all of us getting a little older, some of us have gone through some really tough times, maybe living alone at home. That's dangerous. And the isolation of being alone and the safety hazards, maybe of falling or slipping or whatever it might be, not being able to make your own meals the way you really should for the best nutrition, or maybe not taking your medicine, paying attention to when it is, what time it is, and what you're supposed to take. All of this leads me to tell you about senior living at Pomerell Place in Burley at 1301 Bennett Street in Burley. The number to call them and find out more, 677-8212. Senior living at Pomerell Place in Burley. You know, there is so much going on in the world, and this mess, and that's what it is, chaos, mess at Las Vegas. And I listened intently to many different newscasts last night on many networks. And I agree that the pathetic Vegas shooter, Paddock, could not. Now, these are my words, and I'll stand behind what I say. I don't believe, after listening to the reports, and I don't believe, after listening to the police and other people involved in the investigation, the FBI members, etc., that this man could have acted alone and done all this by himself. Now, there's probably a lot in the audience that are going, oh, here we go, Zeb's conspiracy theory. No, I've really given it a lot of thought. And there's so many questions that I have that when you listen to the news reports, you should have also. Getting all the guns and all the ammo, that's not light. He had thousands of rounds. And the cameras and the equipment into the hotel. One person unloading a car, putting it on a gurney, and getting it up to the room, and now help. That leads me to my next question. Getting and renting the right room. Think about this. How did he know what room to get? Well, okay, he probably stayed there on numerous occasions to try to figure out the best vantage point. But there again, getting the right room in a heavy tourist time How did that happen? Just call up and say, I want 3221. I'm just making a supposition on the number here. I want 3221 for the dates of... Well, if it was booked, which it very well could have been, how did he get the transition so that he got the room? Oh, does that suggest to me that somebody may have helped him get the right room? Very possibly. The planning and the getaway. Now the authorities came out last night and made a inclination that maybe he didn't want to commit suicide after all, and that he had made plans for a getaway after this dastardly, heinous deed. And the girlfriend, come on. Do you honestly believe that she was completely void of any knowledge about what this guy was doing or planning to do, or all the guns and all the ammunition? She said, through her attorney, she saw nothing and knew nothing. That, to me, is really hard to accept. And last but not least, the police and the FBI have a lot of information, a lot of videos, a lot of perhaps informant information that has not been released at this point, nor should it be, until they have a complete investigation finalized as to what really went down. But what are your thoughts about this? I thought about this. You know, you drive your car into a parking lot or up to the front door. Are you going to park this way out in the hinterlands of where you can park yourself? You can't let valet parking have it. My goodness, not with all the guns and the ammo in that car. And so you're going to take a gurney and you're going to go way out, might be 4 or 5 blocks away from the entrance to the casino, load everything on a gurney and huff and puff and pull right past everybody. Give me a call. Caller, I really enjoy your call, and I'm going to ask you to stay tuned just for a second. I got to get some bills paid, and I'm going to treat you like royalty in just a moment, so stand by. Want to remind everybody about Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox with their Lennox indoor comfort systems. Oh, my, yes. Indoor comfort systems with Lennox and Ramsey Heating and Electric, and you might get up to a $1,600 rebate. Call them today, 678-0459. Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox, saving you money. Absolutely good people. And I really enjoy this because, you know something, I don't think I would ever want to get in the septic business. I don't think I'd ever like to be in that business. But, you know, thank the good Lord that we've got people like Dino's that are in that business. That's right. Septic tanks pumped and septic tanks and drain fields installed, backhoe service, water and sewer lines installed, and sewer and sink drain lines cleaned. Oh, my. Liquid waste removal. They've got a big old truck that says, "Smells Cargo on the way." They really serve you and me. They do a great job, and that's, of course, Dino's Septic Service in Rupert, 436-6526, or in Burley, 678-1638. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb.
Yes.
No conspiracy theory on my part today, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so in Las Vegas, and you've been there many times, you stayed at that particular hotel.
Yep.
And everything. This guy, being a multimillionaire, do you think he would be above driving these people to get the room?
Oh, I think anything is possible, Keith. I'm just having a hard time knowing that this man knew exactly the elevation point and the best visibility point of having that room on the 32nd floor. Okay, he must have been there before. He must have scouted it out. He must have made preparation to get that room. But therein lies a problem. Think about it. In a busy tourist time, the early fall, a lot of people going to Vegas for the fall activities and everything. The weather's a little bit cooler. How did he know he was going to get that particular room on those dates?
Because he's got more money than the people who really wanted that room. That's what I would say. I mean, Las Vegas is the bride capital of the world. We know that. Every time you turn around in Las Vegas, somebody's got their hand out.
True.
They want parking or whatever, you know. They expect you to pay them in addition to what the price already is.
Yeah, but okay, now
It
go
doesn't surprise me one bit.
to my next point. You've got a car full of absolute lethal weaponry, whether it is the bomb-making material or whether it's the guns or whether it's all the ammunition and all the camera equipment and everything. Are you going to turn that over to be parked in valet parking? No. So you're probably going to have to park, like a lot of casinos have parking where you park your own vehicle and it's a long walk to the casino. Okay, you park your car, and then you start pushing those little gurneys loaded down with all this absolutely heavy material. There's just too many unanswered questions, my friend.
Well, having been around situations like this when I was an auto dealer, they have so many people bringing things in for their setting up for their trade shows
True.
and stuff like that, that I don't think too many people pay attention to what's on those cars.
Well, I'm having a hard time, though, the weight of all the weaponry and the ammunition, very heavy. And then I'm having a hard time with the maids and the maid service to the rooms not seeing or noticing anything. I'm having a hard time with the wiring up all the cameras and everything, nobody noticing anything. I'm sorry, maybe I'm naive, but I'm having some questions here.
Well, he evidently requested no maid service. And you can do that.
Yep.
If you don't want to be disturbed, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think someone else is involved in this. I'm guessing now, but it looks like a duck, and it smells like a duck, and it must be a duck.
I agree with you.
I think there's other people involved in this. I don't know what level or anything, and I don't want to speculate on it either. But I do think that he had help, and he did plan to escape.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Keith. Asking questions is not speculation. I'm asking a lot of questions. I know everybody's asking a lot of questions. And of the people that I've talked to down in Las Vegas area, they're asking a lot of questions. I don't know if you knew it or not, but this guy, Paddock, had bought a room that was overlooking another concert the week before. So this man had, for some reason, targeted this country music concert as his main thrust of all the damage and the misery that he wanted to cause, and he used that first concert, I think, as kind of a schematic. This is so sick and so perverted, but I'm having a hard time thinking he did it all by himself. I got to run, Keith. Thank you so much.
You bet. Have a wonderful day.
All right, buddy. Hey, caller, I'll be right with you. Gano Landscaping and Sprinkler Service, 336 South, 450 West of Paul. Scott and the rest of the crew, numbers to call, 431-8733. You've got tree limbs flopping all over in the breeze, and maybe one of them might come crashing through your bay window this winter. Oh, get those trees trimmed. All the pruning and the trimming they can get done. And by the way, now, going into Indian summer and the fall, it's a great time to put in a new sprinkler system for next year. Call Scott Gano Landscaping and Sprinkler Service, 431-8733. Caller, I'll be right with you, I promise. I also want to tell everybody about Barry Equipment and Rental. Don't forget them. 3 locations, and they have all the equipment to get the job done right. Retail equipment, rentals and sales, and they've got all the Bobcat excavators. Oh my goodness, new and used for sale or rent, all the shapes and the sizes. Absolutely, fall is here. Clean up, get ready for the winter, and stop in and check out the equipment at Barry Equipment and Rental, South Lincoln and Jerome, Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls, and 159 West Highway 30 in Burley. Barry Equipment and Rental. Caller, thank you for your patience. Good morning.
if he was that wealthy, he could have one of those delivered one at a time over a period of time. How long did he stay in that hotel?
He had tentatively, and there's been some discrepancy here on when he checked in. He checked in about 4 or 5 days before this heinous event. And again, I still have a lot of questions as to how he got that room specifically and how he got all the material up there. I still think somebody else was involved.
I do too. M.O., what's the motive on this? This is just a sick thing. And if you have so many guns, did he have a small army up there throwing them away?
Now, you know, and there again, I can't answer those questions without making speculation. We're waiting for the facts, but I'll tell you something. To think that a girlfriend that supposedly was very close to him for many years saw nothing, knew nothing, I can't buy that.
You know, she's got an accent of some kind. What's that all about? Where's she from?
She is from the Middle East originally, her family, and they live in Australia now. And but she's of Middle Eastern descent, Asian descent, actually, pardon me. And I do not know. She worked as a casino hostess, etc. That's how they met while he was a card player. It's a long, long story, but for heaven's sakes, how can you live with somebody, not know that they own all these guns at all 3 residences that he had, and not know a thing about what's going on?
That's really something. A guy that has it all made. He's a millionaire. He can have anything he wants. He's going to pop off 58 people.
You know something right there? Right there, he had everything. You summed it up in those few words. Sir, thank you for your call.
Why would he do it?
Yeah, I have no idea. Thank you. Thank you. That gentleman just summed up the whole thing. He had everything. He had money. He had property. He had evidently a very good business at one time, being an accountant. Why? Why get involved in this? Caller number 2, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning, Zeb. You know, there's a video circulating now that he was at anti-Trump rallies. I don't know if you're aware of that, but that's come to my attention. And yeah, where did he get all this money? And I'm sorry, but the modus operandus, my personal gut feeling, this guy was radicalized. You just don't, I mean, I don't care what kind of a nutcase you are. I may be wrong, but there's some of that money, and you have 47 different guns. I mean, yeah, that's crazy. But I agree. I think there was somebody else involved as well. And I've listened to some other and read some other commentaries that there was background firing, and so forth. So anyway, this is a really sad situation. But for the Pelosi's and the Schumers, I mean, shame on them. And the 2 congressmen that wouldn't even recognize a moment of silence for the victims, that is unbelievable. How calloused are these people?
Well, wait a minute.
Evil is the gun person.
Wait a minute, Adrian. Adrian,
I just can't believe people could be that calloused.
Adrian, wait a minute. Give me just a second here. There's even something that was worse. And by the way, Wheels, we're getting a little feedback here, buddy. There was even something worse that happened from Hillary Clinton. And this statement that she made, honestly, I hit my fist on my lazy boy so hard I just about put it out for the count. She made the comment that all Republicans and the NRA and its members are complicit in gun violence here in America. I am a gun owner, and I'll guarantee you I've never committed a crime with a gun, never even had an inkling of thinking of doing something illegal with a gun. But this woman has dragged us all into the same manure pile with her stupid comment that Republicans and the NRA are complicit in gun violence.
Well, you know, they better clean up their own act. There were 3,900 deaths in Chicago and under Obama's watch, and Rahm Emanuel. Every day, 18,000, I think, have been wounded in Chicago in that same period, and almost 4,000 deaths.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so every city that's got major gun control laws, they have the highest rates of crime. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, and of course, Chicago's at the top of the list. So, it's all about the dictatorship has to have the goal of taking away the guns. I've spoke to refugees here in the area, and they were all disarmed. They had arms of some sort, and then when they were disarmed, they were at the mercy of the dictator.
Yeah.
And that same thing would happen here, and we know that, guns prevent crime. I mean, the dictatorship. That's why the Second Amendment, in my opinion, should have been number one, because without having citizens have the right to keep and bear arms. And so, the old saying, it's better to have it and not need it, and need it not have it.
I got to run right now, but that's an excellent way to wrap up our conversation on this. Better to have and not need, and I appreciate it. God bless you. Thanks, Adrian. I got to run and get a commercial in.
You do. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
I was just talking with Adrian about Hillary Clinton's stupid remarks. And she said, and I'm going to quote, the evidence is just so clear that more guns do not keep you safer, and more guns in the wrong hands lead to terrible incidents. That one part of the sentence, that guns do not keep you safer, let me tell you something, Hillary. I have a gun for my protection. I have a gun to keep the bad guys out of my home and off my property. I have a gun to make sure that if somebody maliciously tries to get into my home, they won't do it again. And for her to say that guns do not keep you safer, this is a stupid comment by a woman that absolutely is despicable, irresponsible, and miserable, and should not be making any quotes to the press whatsoever. Caller, I'll be right there. I have to pay some bills. Stand by just a moment, please. I want to remind everybody again about Lennox Home Comfort Systems through Ramsey Heating and Electric. Yes, and you can possibly get up to a $1,600 rebate on a new Lennox Home Comfort System. Be cozy inside. Call our friends at Ramsey Heating and Electric at 678-0459. Call them today. Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox. Also, I've been bragging, and it's true. It's not bragging if it's a fact. And the fact is that Harris Plumbing NG is the best. The best doggone plumbers around. And I know that. One call takes care of everything. Their experience, their service, their perfection to getting the job done exactly right is impeccable. They've worked for us, and I absolutely swear by them. Harris Plumbing NG, Burley, Idaho. The number, write this down. You want the best plumber? Here it is, 431-8633. 431-8633, Harris Plumbing NG in Burley. Caller, good morning. Thank you for your patience.
You're welcome, sir. Yeah, this Hillary calling out what she calls out that we basically they want to disarm us. She needs to lead by example, and all of these stars and celebrities that have their bodyguards, let them lead by example. Getting rid of their bodyguards. Get rid of the guns the bodyguards carry.
Well, look at Doug. It's no different with the Hollywood elites and all the so-called stars. And Oprah Winfrey, there's the biggest hypocrite of all the people that are shooting their mouth off in the entertainment business. She's got 3 or 4 armed guards with 38s or whatever on their hip, 24/7, 365.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They need to lead by example. If they think that we need to disarm and then you get rid of your armed guards, and then we will get rid, then we will consider ours. But no, don't tell me I can't have guns when you've got full-time bodyguards.
And to think that this woman would say something, I'm talking this woman, Michelle Obama, or not Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton. I've got another remark about Michelle Obama in just a moment. And once again, Wheels, a lot of feedback on the line here. But to think that this woman would make such a callously stupid remark about guns do not keep you safer. I feel better at night knowing that if somebody tries to come through the window or the door, they wish they wouldn't have.
Yeah, exactly. Just, I've seen a sign and I've thought about putting it outside my door. It says, there's nothing in this house worth dying for.
That's right. But the inclination of her and the Democrats to call you and me and all Republicans and the NRA and its members all complicit in the gun violence in America, that really offends me, buddy.
Well, it's like calling us a deplorable.
Yep.
I mean, she has no idea of reality. She has not lived in reality. She's never had a real job. She's never had to write paychecks for real employees. She just has lived off the government dole, and that's the only life she knows.
You know something?
She needs to get out in middle America and live and see exactly what it's like.
Doug, my wife made a great observance last night while we were watching all the different newscasts. And she said, here's Hillary shooting her mouth off and trying to stay in the public eye on behalf of the Democratic Party. And you never see her husband, Bill. You never see them together. You never hear a quotation from them that would be talking about a certain subject. He is completely in the background and gone on any and all issues that Hillary makes sound bites on. And it really looks like they've kind of split the sheets, and he's gone his way, and she's still trying to stay in the limelight.
Exactly. And on this bump stock that they were... and this is the first I've ever heard of one. I have a few guns, and I don't shoot a lot. I do go out and practice once in a while just to stay in practice. But this bump stock was approved in 2010 under the Obama administration.
And primarily, Doug, it was a lot of the percentages as to why they approved it was the reason that for perhaps handicapped shooters or people with shoulder injuries to absorb a lot of the pressure and the concussion of the gun coming on a recoil.
Yeah. So, but like a lot of people said, no, don't. Why should we ban it? Why should I give up my rights so you can feel better?
Yeah. But, Doug, it's coming. I guarantee you that the Democrats and the liberals and all the naysayers out in the world, they're gathering like vultures, and they're gathering their money. They're talking to the Bloombergs. They're talking to the George Soros people. They're going to come like locusts across the desert, and they're going to try to take everyone's gun away.
Okay, then I'm going to throw this out to all the liberals that are listening, and I'm sure there's a few. If we're not supposed to generalize and say, condemn all Muslims for an act of a Muslim that, like down in or Florida down there at that nightclub.
Good point.
Then why do you condemn the NRA and all people associated with the NRA for the acts of one lunatic?
Okay, that leads me, you just opened the door for me, my friend. Did you hear...
Come on in.
Yeah, okay, invite everybody. But did you hear what the former First Lady, Michelle Obama, said about you and me and other white people? Listen to this little comment. She said, and the big headline on this story was, Michelle Obama says people don't trust politics because the GOP is all white men.
Really?
Yeah. If that isn't racist, I don't know what is. I get accused of being a racist. You have anybody else that speaks out against Obama and his wife, etc., over the many years they were in there. Oh, you're racist, you're racist. And then somebody like a former First Lady comes out with something stupid like all men, all white, and that was why she argued many people of color don't trust politics because the GOP is all white men.
I know it. She needs to look at the GOP. There's a lot of black men in there.
I am so fed up with... Go ahead.
I got a customer just pulling up. So God bless, and everybody, let's take care of our senior centers and take care of our Second Amendment.
Okay, buddy. Thank you so much. I tell you what, the racism and the divisiveness that's being caused, former First Lady Michelle Obama. She said at the State of the Union address, when you are in the room, what you can see is this. A feeling of color, almost. On one side of the room is literally gray and white. Literally, that is the color palette on one side of the room. On the other side of the room, there are yellows and blues and whites and greens. Physically, there's a difference in color and the tone because on one side, all men, all white. On the other side, people of color. Ooh. Caller, I am so sorry, but I've got to get a weather forecast here. Please have the patience to stay with me just a minute. I'll be right with you. Our weather forecast brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, and that's with the lovely Dr. Christine Pickup. And I urge you to call for a hearing screening. Kind of not hearing what the grandkids are saying or turning the TV up real loud. Hey, get a hold of them today for a hearing screening right across from the Minidoka Hospital Emergency Room. The number to call, 312-0957, Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. And right now, here's the weather.
Here's your weather forecast as we saddle up and ride again for another Thursday. Today going to be very nice. Going to see some sunshine, looking at a high of 58 for today. Going to be slightly breezy. Winds out of the east-northeast right around 8 miles an hour, becoming north by the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low right near 36. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high of 63, slightly breezy. Winds out of the west-southwest right around 10 to 16 miles an hour. Gusts possible as high as 24. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low of 41. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high of 66. For Sunday, partly cloudy skies, looking at a high of 55. That's your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
Oh, my goodness. The only locally owned and independent hearing healthcare practice in southern Idaho, the best. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids with Dr. Christine Pickup. Call for an appointment today, 312-0957. Caller, I thank you for your patience. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Zeb. Two things, and I'll get off the air real quick here. The MGM owns the Mandalay Bay. The MGM and the Mandalay Bay both hand out flyers about CARE, the Islamic Relations Organization.
Yes.
Which is a terrorist organization. They hand out these flyers all the time. And Antifa as well, mentions Antifa, and asks for donations. Second thing is that about Hillary, she's a progressive, self-proclaimed progressive, and that's communist. It's the same thing. And Stalin was the one who said that one man with a gun can hold off 100. That's why they want to take the guns. Stalin took the guns. A lot of people, a lot of governments have taken the guns, and they want to take the guns, and they'll do it by any means necessary. That's all I got to say. Thanks a lot.
No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. We live in a sick world where evil is becoming good and good is becoming evil, like the Bible said. And we need to stand up and smack evil right in the nose. We do. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Bennett Boys Auction Service with my buddy Joe Bennett and the crew. Oh, my goodness sakes, the Bennett Boys Auction Service, bona fide, certified, no sale, too big, too small, they do them all, and they're going to be over at the Frank Orth Estate and Gloria Orth Auction this coming Saturday, October 7th at 10:30 a.m. That's going to be over in Wendell, and the director directions, 1903 East, 3400 South. This is a sale, really. Now, husbands, take your wives. I'll tell you why. There's going to be a lot of antiques and a lot of collectibles, like the Guardian Service set with over 150 pieces. This is really a collectible. And I understand also just all kinds of collectible cookie jars for sale that you can never find today. I mean, this is really something, along with tractors and farm equipment, shop equipment, tools, everything. Big sale this Saturday over in Wendell, the Orth Estate and Orth Auction, put on by the Bennett Boys Auction Service. Joe Bennett and the crew, don't forget, that's coming up on this Saturday. For more information, 539-0111. You know, this deal with the Democrats clamoring and stammering for gun control, I'm going to ask you a question, audience. What law and how could that what law be represented to the American people so that that law would have prevented what happened in Las Vegas? Think about it for a minute. Of all the gun laws that we have across the country and that have been in effect for quite some time, what additional law other than complete confiscation would have stopped that crime? Aha. And then I would add as a caveat, no law, because of the illegality and illicit means of obtaining weapons by the bad guys to still do their evil. So really, what law that the left wants to try to impose on us would have stopped the absolute evil that happened in Las Vegas or anywhere else? Let me know about that. Give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. There's just too many unanswered questions, way too many unanswered questions. And Hillary Clinton and the rest of the Democrats just absolutely groveling in this new surge for calling Republicans and the NRA and all gun owners names and saying that, oh my goodness, we're an accomplice basically with the crime that's going on in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can't see behind the curtain, you better look. We're developing a complete civil war in this country. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. I heard somebody or somewhere that they noticed him coming and going a lot with a golf club carrier, which probably was a pretty convenient way to bring things from your car into the hotel.
Yeah.
I don't know if he pretended to be a golfer, but must have. Seems like maybe that was a good way to carry his armor. And I have suspicions about the girlfriend. Where did she start her life? Somewhere in the Mideast, right?
She was of that descent. Her family now lives over in Australia, according to some of the records I have. But the point that I was trying to make with her earlier is she knew nothing and saw nothing, and they've been together for the last couple of years. I'm having a hard time buying that.
Wasn't it a very convenient time for her to be gone?
Yeah, this is the other thing, and thank you, Chris. You're very observant. He, according to some of the reports by the sisters, he forced her to go away. How did they know, the sisters, when they were interviewed right after the shooting, how did they know that this man forced their sister to go away? That's the words that they used.
Well, I think that... I think she knows a lot more than we'll ever know.
I hope not.
And he certainly knew he had a lot of guns. Had she not noticed? And, you know, her background, to me, sounds a little interesting. She came from the Middle East, kind of. didn't she?
Well, and she...
What kind of a religion do you suppose she brought with her?
I mean, I'm out of time, but I will say this, that I think the FBI is doing a complete personality and family profile on her right now as we speak. And I think that by the end of today, honestly, I think we'll know a lot more. I've got to do a commercial. Chris, God bless you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just listening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget the big fall tire sale going on at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations. Doing the right thing matters for your passenger cars, SUVs, pickup tires, everything, along with the best in-brake service. Front-end alignment, shocks and struts, and batteries. And I'll tell you what, those cool, crispy mornings, you better make sure you've got a good battery to turn that engine over. They've got the best right there at all 7 locations. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin, and Randy on Overland in Burley. They are the best. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Caller, I'm going to give you 15 seconds. Real fast. Go.
Hey, Hoss, this is the chief. They have, people don't have information on the hotel and casino there because they do have a lot of gun shows there. And it's really not a big deal to see somebody walking around with a long case or downstairs who just bought a gun and are bringing it up to their room, and they're real popular and everything's above board.
Yeah, well, there wasn't a gun show.
Hotel security, they should have caught that guy.
I agree.
After 5 days, somebody didn't figure something out.
I agree, Chief. I got to run to the news. I'm sorry I'm cutting you off, but I got to get out of here. Wheels.
Take care of those horses.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Well, news next from CBS. I'll be back in 7. Oh, good morning to you, and welcome to Zeb at the Ranch on a Thursday. My goodness, this is a picture book day outside. Blue sky, sunshine, hitting off the fields with kind of a golden hue. Oh, my goodness. Zeb at the Ranch brought to you by, of course, our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations, serving you with a great big fall tire sale going on right now, and our friends at Western Waste Services.
From the canyons of the Snake River and all across southern Idaho, we're always at your disposal. Western Waste Services, we care about our community, our resources, and this great land. Western Waste Services is lending a hand, always at your disposal. Western Waste Services.
It was just a couple of days ago, a lady called after the program and said they just moved up here from a southern state. And she said, we heard your ad about Western Waste Services, and please give us the number. And I did. Western Waste Services can come by your home on the route service, pick up your garbage, and it's gone. It's out of there. No more worry about it. They are the best. Always at your disposal. Please give them a call. Western Waste Services, 734-6969. There to serve you, Western Waste Services. And, of course, don't forget, too, that Lennox Home Comfort Systems, I can't amplify enough, that ain't going to stay this way forever. It's going to get chilly and cold. The wind's going to be blowing. The snow's going to get deep. Oh, you can be comfy inside with your indoor comfort system from Lennox Home Comfort Systems through our friends at Ramsey Heating and Electric at 678-0459. You might get up to a $1,600 rebate. Check it out today. Ramsey Heating and Electric, 678-0459. We're going to go over to the Chamber of Commerce in just a moment, but first and foremost, I also want to remind everybody about my dear, dear friend. I've got to get him back on the air here in the next couple of days, Joel Heward over at Hanson Mortuary. And, he had a program that he talked about and shared with us not too long ago called FAMIC. It's an information program that helps you gain a lot of the information on your family and gets you, quite frankly, more knowledge to where you really know and understand your family. Check it out today. Give them a call at 436-5636. Hanson Mortuary at 710 6th Street in Rupert. And they always treat you with the highest ethical standards with unquestioned integrity. Hanson Mortuary in Rupert. Okay, over the river and through the desert we go to the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce. Kyla, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Peachy.
You had a nice vacation. Are you feeling refreshed and relaxed and all that kind of good stuff?
What do you mean, vacation, lady? I didn't go on vacation.
Well, I just assume if you're not there, you've got to be on vacation. I hope everything's okay.
No, we had doctor's appointments, and believe me, when you have to sit in a doctor's office, it's not a vacation.
Oh, that is not fun. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
So I'm glad you're back.
Thank you very much. What is going on this beautiful Thursday at the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce?
Well, we have a big day today. We've got our chamber ambassadors are going to be meeting at noon over at Maury's Steakhouse, and we will be celebrating two very special ambassador birthdays. I hope I'm not giving too much away, but I think a lot of people in our community know Carlene Clayville and they know Audrey Nyworth, and they both have birthdays this week, and so we're just going to have a little cake. We're going to meet at noon and do our normal business, and just want to say happy birthday to those two ladies.
Well,
they sure do a lot for the community.
Very, very nice ladies. Very nice ladies. So you're going to be indulging in cake and ice cream and tooting those little horns and yelling and screaming happy birthday. It sounds like a fun time.
It should be a good time. I don't know about any horns, but we'll definitely have some cake for sure. And then I want to talk to folks about a couple of fun things that are going on. Of course, we've had a lot of calls because it is, that haunted time, but Haunted Mansions of Albion going on, of course, since the very end of September. They opened on September 29th. I just want to give a quick shout-out to people. So Exit 216 is closed for construction that they're doing there on that bridge. So we want to let a lot of people know, get off at Exit 211, head south, follow the signs to Declo, and then the signs to Albion. And that's going to be the best way to get yourself out to Albion, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Again, they don't recommend it, though, for kids that are under age 8.
Okay.
And then this weekend on Saturday, if you are looking for some free potatoes, everyone is invited to come and pick your own potatoes at the Miller Research Farm, and that is in Rupert. It's at 225 North, 400 East. You can come out and pick potatoes Saturday evening. They have from 6 to 7:30 p.m. You need to bring your own boxes, bring your own bags. But, gosh, I mean, this is kind of fun. Bring the whole family, and it's going to be a good time. But you can pick as many as you want, really. They've got the designated areas, so when you drive in there, it'll be pretty easy to see where you need to go. And they've got the Russet Burbank, some Reds, and some Yukon Golds. So help yourself.
You know, I'm going to back up a little bit here, my dear. Do you scare easily?
Very. Very easy. Yeah, spiders get the best of me sometimes, definitely snakes. And I have a funny story for you, actually, Zeb. I was out there at the Haunted Mansions of Albion on Friday the 29th, but I was there for a wedding reception that they were having there at the Comish Hall, which is, it sounds funny, but it's in the basement of what used to be the girls' dormitory there at the campus, and now it's just a beautiful, absolutely breathtaking place to have a reception. But I'm there with my daughter, who's 13, and she's laughing because there's a guy with a chainsaw coming at us, and I'm holding out my hand going, I'm just here for the wedding. I'm just here for the wedding reception. So, yeah, I scare very easy. Why? Why is that?
Well, the reason I said that is because you're no different than I am. You know, here, I don't care if anybody makes fun of me or not. I do not like these movies that currently seem to be the rage, showing the clowns in distorted faces and everything and evil, sinister poses. I don't like that kind of stuff.
Oh, gosh, I don't either. And you know what? I've had the privilege of getting to go through the Haunted Mansions of Albion in the off-season when there isn't clowns, there isn't people dressed up, there's nobody, that's an actor. But it's creepy enough as it is, just as it is, and walked through, the different buildings that they have, 3 or 4 separate buildings there that you get to walk through.
Yeah.
And that drove me crazy. And I'm very anxious. They're going to be on television in November, and now it's escaping me, but we can get that information out next week. But it'll be fun to see what they found in their haunted investigation of that place.
Boo. Yeah. Anything else going on over there?
You know what? We're just enjoying fall. We're getting ready for things for next year. And, we've got, on October 12th will be the Chamber Luncheon. That's our legislative review. And so we are having House Speaker Scott Bedke, and we'll have Senator Anthon and Representative Fred Wood. That'll take place October 12th, noon at Perkins. If you're a Chamber member, lunch is typically included with whatever tier you're at, but just check with us first, or you can check at the door. And if you'd like to check us out as a chamber, this is a great opportunity to come and listen to these guys tell us what the big issues are going to be for the upcoming legislative session, and check out the Chamber of Commerce as well.
All righty. And there are 973 ways to get a hold of the Chamber.
There might be, but I think the best one is going to be just to give us a call at 208-679-4793, or you can email us, or you can just go ahead and get on our website, MinneCasuChamber.com.
All righty. Well, listen, Kyla, God bless you, and enjoy the week with the nice fall weather, and we'll talk to you next Thursday.
You take care, Zeb. Thanks again for having us.
All right. Thank you much. Appreciate it. Kyla over at the Minnecasia Chamber of Commerce, thank you very much. Got to pay some bills here real quick and talk about some friends. Dr. Bill and the whole crew over at Ark Animal Hospital. Good morning. They've been voted Minnecastia's best veterinary hospital many, many times. And, whether you got little kitty cats, meow, and they're on the floor crawling around and everything, or you got great big roping steers or cows or horses or whatever, Ark Animal Hospital is a mixed animal practice, meaning big or small, they love them all, they can take care of them all. Absolutely. Ark Animal Hospital at 750 21st Street near Connection Credit Union in Heyburn. And the number to call, 678-1177. 678-1177. Ark Animal Hospital, they do have the warm hearts for the cold noses. I love that phrase. Morning to everybody, and in just a few moments, I'm going to have my big Denny's football breakfast giveaway, so stay tuned for that. But right now, also, I want to remind you about Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Your life insurance, your health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits. Why? Why do you put that on the back burner and say, well, I'll get to it next week, or I'll get to it in a couple of days? Don't put it off, because this is protection for you and your family and your business, and these people are the best at Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. The number to call, make an appointment, 436-4424. I'll repeat it, 436-4424. You give them a call today. Okum dokum, right now, we are going to give away a free Grand Slam Make-It-Yourself breakfast at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley, America's Diner. You can build your own Grand Slam breakfast. All you got to do is answer, and this is an easy one this morning. I forgot, honestly, to make up a question, and I was sitting here about 5 minutes ago, and I go, ooh, forgot about that. And this is an easy one. This college coach was known as the Bear. What was his name, and what college did he coach? This college coach was known as the Bear. What was his name, and what college did he coach? Give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. That was quick. Who's calling, please?
Eddie.
Pardon me?
Eddie.
Well, Eddie, that doesn't help. Eddie, you got to give me your full name. I think I know who this is, but go ahead.
Yes, Eddie DiNargo.
Uh-huh.
Paul Bryant.
And what was the college?
How about Alabama?
Well, how about you get yourself over to Denny's restaurant and build your own Grand Slam breakfast, my friend.
Wonderful.
Okay, take care, Eddie. God bless you, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, that man and his wife go to our lunch bunch, and they are really nice people. Yep, it was Paul Bear Bryant, Alabama. Good answer. Eddie Denoggle, the winner. And we'll send your name over there to Denny's. They'll have it on file. You go in, show who you are. Believe me, they know who he is. And get your free Grand Slam breakfast. Let's take a look at some of the high school activity going on in football. For this weekend, there are going to be some great games. Burley is going to be taking on Jerome tonight. And that'll be a good game. Canyon Ridge is going to be playing Bonneville, and Minico Spartans are going to take on Twin Falls this weekend. That's another good game. Wood River Wolverines taking on Buell, and the Buell Indians, as I said, playing Wood River. Filer Wildcats up against Gooding. I saw Gooding play last week. They're a very, very good team, well coached, and that's going to be another good game. Let's take a look. Kimberly Bulldogs matched up against Wendell, and that game also tonight in Kimberly, all right? The Declo Hornets are going to be playing Orofino. And we move on down the list. Glens Ferry Pilots taking on Chalice, and the Higerman Pirates against Valley. Ooh, there's another good game. I'll tell you, Division 1A. Oakley's going to be playing. They have an open weekend. They don't play tonight or this weekend. And let's see, what else have we got here? Let's take a look at Shoshone playing Grace, and Camas County up against Castleford. Curie Panthers are playing Dietrich, and Lighthouse Christian is taking on Murtaugh, and the Richfield Tigers will be against Hanson. And those, I hope, are is a complete list of the Magic Valley Prep Schools football tonight and tomorrow night. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I also want to remind you about Let's Ride. You know, the fall colors are just absolutely phenomenal right now. The beauty out there with God's paintbrush all over the trees and the bushes and everything. Oh, it's beautiful. Let's Ride, 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. You can get up in the hills and just absolutely enjoy. And you know what? They've also got all the new snowmobiles there for 2017/18. You better get in there and check them out today. The four-wheelers and the side-by-sides. Oh, my goodness. And they've got all the accessories, all the clothing that you need to stay warm and snuggy up in the hills, and a super service department. They can keep you running. Let's Ride. Yep. 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. They're open Monday through Friday 9 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 4, where the fun is sold. You stop over and see them today. Okie doke, I'd love to hear from you. Give me a jingle, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. You know, this deal with Hillary Clinton and why? Why every day is she allowed on the news with sound clips? You know, think about all the past presidential hopefuls, and i.e. even the vice presidential hopefuls. I don't think you can name anyone that was running for president and or vice president that has tried to linger and hold on and be a fly in the milk politically like Hillary Clinton. Most of the also-rans, most of those that get their open door to leave after they've lost the election, they don't come back and keep hammering and yammering and yelping about the way things are and being very derogatory to over half of the population of this country. And she doesn't seem to go away. She's like having the flu that just won't go away. And all she is doing is creating and causing more strife and more division. that right now this United States of America does not need. I mean, saying that the gun owners are complicit with the crimes in America. And then she also came out and she said something the other day that I just had to laugh at. She said that women who support the Trump administration are publicly disrespecting themselves. So I've got about 3 or 4 minutes here. I'm going to reserve that to a lady to call me right now at 436-2244, a lady that supports this Trump administration. And what do you think about Hillary Clinton saying, well, if you support Donald Trump, you are publicly disrespecting yourself? Quickly, give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. While I'm waiting for your call, I know there's got to be a lady out there that absolutely is upset about that. I'm going to tell everybody about our friends at Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center. Yes, 924 Christian Way in Rupert. The number to call, 436-3200. They are the only locally owned and operated assisted living facility in the Mini-Cash area. And they're able to provide more of that one-on-one care. You know, seriously, think about this. Maybe you've got a loved one that's maybe staying at home alone, but they can't take care of themselves. They can't do everything the way they used to, and they might need that more one-on-one care. Well, call Autumn Haven today at 436-3200. And Autumn Haven invites you to come by and visit the facility anytime and find out more. They're small compared to some, but with a bigger heart than most. Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center in Rupert, 436-3200. Okie doke, come on, give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I'd like to hear from you. It seems like you never heard anything from Laura Bush, negative. No, I mean, the lady was class. And even Grandpa George and his wonderful wife, when they left office, it was all class. But why, with Michelle Obama being very racist, all men, all white GOP make people distrust politics, and Hillary, with her stupid remarks about gun owners and the NRA being complicit with the crimes in America, why did they get away with this? Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Zeb.
Yes, sir.
The deal with Hillary Clinton, she's got a daughter, and I think those aspirations are going to continue so they can vault her daughter into the Clinton limelight.
You know something, Bob? I get a kick out of some of your calls, and some calls and statements you make me wonder what in the world's going on with you. But this morning, I think you are spot on. I have said the same thing myself, that to stay in the limelight for their daughter, they're going to try to make all these absolutely unacceptable remarks to try to build a fire behind their daughter to run for the office.
No question about it. Talk to you later, Zebby, and late happy birthday to you.
Thank you, my friend.
You are just a kid.
I wished I was. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I had a great birthday on Monday. Turned a big number. A big number. Holy cow. You can take a lot of numbers times a lot of numbers and come up with that big number. Oh, my. Give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give me a jingle on the landline. I'd like to hear from you. There is a story. Take this call quickly, and we'll get back to that. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember Barack Obama and his statement of never let a crisis go, at a disadvantage?
Well, wait a minute. Whoa. That was Rahm Emanuel.
Democratic Party.
Yeah, but that was Rahm Emanuel that came out with that statement and that quote while he was working for the Obama administration. And really, the Democrats are absolutely like that.
Yeah, they're taking that as far as they can. On that gun control that you had just a little bit earlier there, Barack Obama, he said, there don't seem to be any solution, because if these Hollywood elites and everything have the opportunity to hire as many bodyguards as they want, armed people, and they have arms in their homes, why are they different than you and I?
There is an element in this country, Keith, as you know, of elitism. And you take people like Oprah Winfrey, or people like Rahm Emanuel, or some people like Lady Madonna, or Lady Gaga, I should say, and others. They always feel like because of where they are with the public status of stardom, that they have their nose that much more elevated above you than others.
Well, that's certainly true, and 9 times out of 10, a bodyguard would not protect you from a shooter from a window or a passing car or something like that. So I don't know why they have to have all this protection.
Well, I can understand having the protection. I can understand having the bodyguards. But if they're going to have that protection, be it as it may, whether they can protect them or not by massing their bodies around them, but I want the right to maintain my security and my protection on my property and in my home.
That's the way it is. Never give up either, Zeb. You're doing a great job of promoting this, and I appreciate you to the end.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. God bless you, man. Have a good weekend.
You bet.
Thank you. Right now, let's get on the other phone line. And a lady that is on my program every week, and I look forward to it because she gives you a fair and honest appraisal of what's going on in the news. And we say a good morning to the lovely Rita Ramsey. How are you?
Good morning. I'm real good.
Okay, Rita, we've got a ton of things to talk about here this morning, and I'm going to start kind of with a en masse statement. What were your thoughts about Las Vegas?
Oh, it just sickened me. I just can't. I can't wrap my arms around it. It's just one of those things that is so horrific that can't even begin to imagine. I'm sure everybody knows that listens to me. I'm kind of a news junkie, so I just listen to talk radio all day long and into the evening, and that's kind of what I do. I search out the news websites and kind of keep an eye on things that way too. In listening to talk radio in the late afternoon and the evenings, there's been a number of people call in, and some of those people were actually there when it happened, and there's just a ton of speculation going on with what actually are the facts and what happened and how it happened and who did it and how was it possible and everything else. My big question with the whole thing is, could he really have done that all by himself? I just don't buy that he was alone in it.
Well, okay, so and Wheels, I'm getting a little bit on the feed line to me, not on the air, but a little bit of feedback on my headset. Thank you. Rita, I questioned the same thing many, many times, many days ago since this happened, as to how he was able to transport all the weaponry, all the ammunition, how he was able to shield it from his live-in girlfriend. There's so many questions that we don't know and are not answered yet. This is, I think, going to be a much bigger story than it is already.
Well, it really is, and I understand that the people who are investigating this and everybody else can't, let too much out. They've got to keep their cards really close to their chest so that, facts and stuff don't escape or non-facts don't get out there and cause all kind of hysteria. But it's just beyond me to even imagine that he could have that many guns, that much ammunition, and everything else in that room. And yes, I guess he was there for 2 or 3 days, it sounds like, and he could have just kind of hauled all that stuff up nonchalantly over that much time. But it just does not make sense at all that he would do something like this and be doing it by himself. There's just too many, narratives going around with people that were there and everything else. And like I said, I guess we're just kind of out speculating the people who are investigating this, but the sheriff's department has even said it's hard to imagine that he could have done the whole thing without some help.
You know, Rita, I think that you, as you said, are a self-professed news junkie like I am. And I want to give kudos, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, to the police. And I mean that for all police, because they're always put in harm's way. But the Las Vegas Police Department and the way the Sheriff's Department of Clark County, and they've all handled this in such a professional manner. And the Sheriff of Clark County was at a news conference yesterday, and I mean, he did not let the press run him. He ran the press and told them what he was going to tell them. He told them what he was not going to tell them, and there was no more of that press conference with goofy reporters trying to twist questions 70 times in the same news conference.
That's what I thought was really good, is that he has been able to kind of keep it under control instead of letting everybody else do all of the, well, this and that and the other, and, you know, kind of back him into a corner. It's just, and I don't understand how his girlfriend would not have known.
Yeah.
I heard one guy on the radio called, I think it was Tuesday, it might have been Monday night, called in, and he said that he was a neighbor to this guy for several months. He lived in Pennsylvania now, but he lived next to this guy just a couple of doors down, and he said there was a little bar around the corner, and we'd go down there, and him and this shooter guy, they would go down there and they would have a few beers and play some kind of poker, online poker or something like that. I don't know what it was. He said, we visited stuff. He said, I'm a former Marine, and so he said, I would always talk about various different things, and I taught guns and stuff, and he said, I can't believe that he even owned a gun, because he never said one time, and he hasn't been his neighbor for over a year now. He said he never talked one time about knowing anything or even being interested in guns. When the subject would come up, it'd kind of be like, oh, yeah, well, you know. And that's just out of character for somebody that has guns. I mean, even the guy that has just one or two, when somebody brings up the conversation about guns, it's kind of like, well, this is the type I have. What do you have? And, you know, they kind of have a little conversation about it. And he said, this guy, he never even alluded to even knowing anything about guns or being interested or having them or anything. So he said, this is just so bizarre. He said, I just honestly don't think he's the kind of person. And he said, you know, the kind of person that he was, he'd wave and he was really nice and everything. And he just doesn't seem like the kind of person that this could happen with. And so he said, to tell you the truth, and I know this sounds like a conspiracy, but he says, I really think that it someday set him up and somebody else did it, and he took the fall for it. So he said, you know, that's my 2 cents worth, but it's really bizarre.
You know, think about it, though. In order to be as efficient in the use of these weapons as he must have been, he would have had to have practiced and gone out into the desert on numerous occasions. He would have had the knowledge of how to put what the so-called bump stock is on these guns and transitionalize these semi-automatic weapons to automatic weapons. I mean, this man knew a ton about weaponry.
Well, it did. It seemed like he really had to have known a ton. And the other thing is, and this is my question, but I do not know anything about guns. I mean, I know my husband has some that he uses for hunting and a few things like that. And my dad always had hunting guns and stuff, but that's about all I know. I know zero about them. When they start talking about ammunition and stuff, I don't know what it means. But my big question is, how would a guy that's such a novice know that if he was on the 32nd floor, be able to even hit anybody down there? I just don't get it.
There's so many questions, and you've tied into another question that I'm going to get back to in just a minute, but we do have a caller with a question and a comment. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, the first question I have, and then I have a little statement, is do either one of you happen to know what his political persuasion was?
No. I do not, because it has not yet been brought out by anyone with the FBI or the Sheriff's Department.
Okay, because I've been wondering about things. We've been asking us why did he do this? I think we need to look at the audience. That is, who was he shooting at? And what is their political bent?
It's a point worth discussing, but I will say that he was supposedly casing, if you can allow that term, the week before from another casino, another concert that was entirely different venue. And there's so many questions about this guy. You know, sir, I appreciate your comment because it's a point that needs to be discussed. Did he have something in for country music and or country people and or Republicans or rednecks? I don't know. Did he have political ties to any one party, or maybe he hated another party? I don't know. They're not coming out with that yet.
Well, what really kind of gets to me is if this guy had been a conservative Republican, I think it would have already been released.
Yeah.
He would have already told us.
But you know, all the questions that you bring up, and you brought up an excellent point this morning, one that needs to be really gone after and discussed, but whether the guns and the ammo and the cameras, all of this going into this hotel room and the setup, and making sure that he rented the right room. I still am stuck on that a little bit. I've gone to hotels and motels year after year when I'm in a certain city, and I've said, can I please have room maybe 517 or whatever? Oh, no, sir, I'm sorry, that's booked. Oh, okay, well, I'll take another. How did he guarantee himself that he was going to end up in one of these luxury suites so that he could have exactly the right vantage point?
Well, he was a high roller, for one thing. He had a lot of money. But also, and you know this better than I do, how far in advance can you book a room?
Yeah.
Can you do it a year or more?
And if he knew that and the planning stages for this went on for a long time, that also adds more fire to the smoke to the fire, if you will, about having an accomplice or some kind of help.
I agree. I'll listen off the air now.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Rita, what do you think about that? I just think that there is not going to be a singular entity here. I think there's going to be other people involved.
Well, I really do. I just don't think that he could have done all of that and done it as calculated as it was, all by himself. And about him, whether he was political or not, the fellow that said that he had lived around the corner down the street from this guy and kind of got to know him a little bit. He said in all of the conversations we ever had over those several months that I lived by him, and we would, be down there, just talking this, that, and the other. He said never once was anything political ever talked about. Mm-hmm. And I kind of got thinking about that in the time frame that this guy was there. He said he was I think he said it was from December 2015 to July of 2016 was the time frame that he lived by this guy at Mesquite. And I looked at this. This guy didn't say this, but I look at this and I say, you know what? That was in the heat of an election time and all the weird stuff going on. And, by then, Trump had been elected as the Republican runner. It just doesn't make sense that somebody wouldn't talk about politics. And so he said he never talked about politics or anything. It was like that he wasn't even interested in that. It just never even came up. So it kind of makes me think that, was he really political? But I did hear somebody speculate on it this morning that said there had been a few things come out that said he was kind of a Trump hater. And, but that's just in speculation afterwards. Maybe prior to this ever happening, they would have never said, well, I've heard him say he hates Trump or anything like that. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
There again, right there, the three words you just said, I don't know. Nobody knows right now. This man is a mystery man. Let's take another caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. Well, this video surfaced that he was at anti-Trump rallies. To think that he's not political, certainly by his attending this Antifa anti-Trump rallies in itself, and the fact that it's been brought out in a CBS report, or a lawyer, I guess, was fired immediately when he suggested that most of that crowd, Western music lovers, were probably Trump supporters, I think hit the nail on the head. And it was too hit a nerve with the liberal left, and they had to get rid of that guy real quick. And but the fact is, he's been seen, and the fact that that hasn't been reported, I think they're trying to, basically smooth over the fact that he's one of the liberal left that hates Trump and hates his supporters. And we don't know for sure, but the fact is they came right out within a 24-hour period and said this was not tied to Islam. To me, that threw up a big red flag. They have no clue. The bodies weren't even hardly cold at that point, and they've already come out in the news media and said this wasn't tied to Islam, radical Islam.
Yeah,
they need to realize this type of a terrorist act is exactly what they would do. And of course, they said it was part of their deal, and I think there's still probably an Islamic part of this whole equation.
All right.
Rita, Zeb?
Well, I'm going to just thank you for your call, Adrian, and I'm just going to say this. I don't deal in speculation on this program, but I do deal in a lot of questions. And I have a lot of questions about something as poo-pooed off as being, oh, well, I don't think that happened. I think now the sheriff of Clark County and even the FBI and others that were interviewed at these various press conferences, they did make the allusion, if you will, that yes, we have all doors open and we are not ruling out anything. Rita, real quick, and then I've got to give a weather forecast.
Well, I'm sure that that's true, and just like Adrian said, I did hear one of the, and I don't know whether it was the sheriff or just one of the FBI or somebody in a press conference say, well, this is not related to terrorists, and it's kind of like, well, this guy was a terrorist, whether he was an Islamic terrorist or not, I don't know. So it just makes you wonder. This kind of a thing has got people just almost as rattled as 9/11 did, just because of the way that it happened, and we don't have any answers.
I want to get into a little bit more about this story, and then I want to ask you about Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton, and the big question I've got about both of them this morning, why? Why are they turning into such racists and haters? Stand by. I'll get right back with you on that. Right now, I want to remind you the weather brought to you by Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. As a matter of fact, we're going to be talking to Leiden Crane next hour on the program. Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company, CPAs providing accounting services to the Mini-Cache area for well over 50 years. 2 locations, Burley and Rupert, with the best of tax return preparation, tax planning, financial statement preparation, payroll services, retirement planning, and so much more. Get a hold of them today for you, your family, and your business. Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. Right now, here's the weather.
Here's your weather forecast as we saddle up and ride again for another Thursday. Today going to be very nice. Going to see some sunshine, looking at a high of 58 for today. Going to be slightly breezy. Winds out of the east-northeast right around 8 miles an hour, becoming north by the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low right near 36. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high of 63, slightly breezy. Winds out of the west-southwest right around 10 to 16 miles an hour. Gusts possible as high as 24. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low of 41. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high of 66. For Sunday, partly cloudy skies, looking at a high of 55. That's your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
Thank you, Gina, and brought to everybody this hour by Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. Absolutely the best of CPAs serving you, your family, and your business. 2 locations, Burley and Rupert. You be sure and get a hold of them today. Rita, when you go down the list of questions, like I said earlier, about getting all the ammunition, the guns, and the cameras all into the hotel, all set up in the hotel, and getting the right room, and the planning, and the possible getaway, now authorities are saying that, yes, they have some evidence that he was planning on getting away and not committing suicide in that room. And, of course, the girlfriend that knows nothing, saw nothing, and the police and FBI, they have made intimations that they have a lot of information that they're not yet getting out. This story's not going to go away anytime soon.
Well, it's not, and like I said, I just don't see how he could have done it by himself. The law officials last night said that they had discovered there was 1,600 rounds of ammunition in his car, and 50 pounds of explosives that he didn't even haul up there or do anything with. So whatever he had in mind with that, maybe just to escape and get away someplace else, I don't know. But it's just beyond me. And I guess I'm just a doubting Thomas type. But, you know, when O.J. was accused of doing what he did, I said from then, and I maintain to this very day, he did not do that by himself. And sometimes when things just go awry, you start looking at one thing and paying attention to it, and all the rest of it kind of gets pushed by the wayside and you forget. But there's just it just doesn't even seem possible that guy in 3 days' time could have hauled all that stuff up to the room, rigged these cameras, and got everything going, and somebody isn't making some questionable things like, what is going on? How come that guy is? And I guess until they start seeing the footage of him actually hauling all that stuff up there by himself, we won't know, but it just does not seem even humanly possible.
In the time remaining, I want to ask you about two women that I'm finding to be more repulsive and more anti-American every day, and that's Hillary Clinton. She's come out with statements that are very bold and implicating when she said, well, of course, Republicans in the NRA are complicit in gun violence. And then she came out and she said that women who support Trump are publicly disrespecting themselves. And then Michelle Obama comes out this week and says people don't trust politics because the GOP is all white men. What's going on here with these two women?
They obviously don't want to give up their attention being directed towards them. The other thing is it would seem to me that if somebody in the media had a notion of being smart, I mean, I just don't even understand how they wouldn't say, well, if you say something like that, how do you account for the fact that, and then start giving them some facts, kind of like, you know, Michelle Obama, day before yesterday, she was at a women's conference, and she was saying, well, you know, all the GOP are just all white men, and da-da-da-da-da, and they're racist and everything else. Does somebody say, well, how do you explain that Barack Obama got elected, and he got a lot of Republican votes? He actually had lots and lots of Republican legislators that were behind him all the time saying, you know, this is a time maybe we should get together and cross the aisle and do da-da-da-da-da and everything else. That didn't show racism. Nobody showed any racism to Barack Obama. And it's just like they're just trying to stir up the pot and try to keep, you know, in the headlines and this and that and the other. And I think with Hillary, she's just a big loser. And somebody ought to be asking her, well, if this is causing women to not be respecting themselves, why doesn't somebody say, well, why didn't you say something when Bill Clinton was exploiting women?
You know, I, as a gun owner and a member of the NRA, how dare this conniving, lying, miserable woman get away with her pathetically stupid statements of saying that we, as gun owners, and the NRA, and Republicans are complicit in gun violence? You know, that word complicit really makes me fighting mad.
Well, it should, and what these people are absolutely just blind to the fact of there's two or three facts. First of all, Hollywood can do all they want and make guns and shootings and terrorists and everything else just really, really look like, whoa, this is really cool. And nobody ever says, you know what, maybe they ought to just kind of be measured in some of this stuff that they put out there. It's been proven that the Disney movies make way more money than anything else, so why not just stay with some of the nicer things? Secondly, if we don't have guns, we cannot protect ourselves from the government. And I know this is just a conspiracy thing right down the road, and yes, I'm the engineer on the front of the conspiracy train, but This was the reason why our Second Amendment rights were granted to us and were given to us, and were very, very specific from the forefathers. That's what the founders, what they wanted was to make sure that people could protect themselves against a tyrannical government. And if all the guns are gone, only the criminals will have them, and they still will, so it's not going to change anything for the bad guys. It will just change things for the people who live within the law, is that we have to have those so that politicians are reminded, it isn't something that we can do, just go in and start taking over places.
That's right.
This is why America hasn't been invaded by other countries, is because they know that there's numbers of Americans that have guns, and they just can't go in and start taking things over.
Amen. Rita, I am flat out of time, but really a great conversation this morning. God bless you. Rita Ramsey, thank you, and I'll look forward to next Thursday.
Okay, we'll see you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Take care. Wonderful lady right there. I always look forward to that time slot. Thank you very much, Rita Ramsey. And I always look forward to this time slot. I'm hungry. And I'm starving to death. I know some great places to go this noon for lunch, like the AC Drive-In at 601 East Main in Burley. Pumpkin shakes. Oh, it's that time of the year, and they're delicious. And a chicken fried steak sandwich, or the combo meals, or that my favorite, the famous Farmer Brown burger. Oh, yeah, with fries, special sauce. Oh, and any shake you want. I'm telling you, the AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. Well, how about Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley? Pumpkin empanadas. They are good. You better believe it. And Taco Bandito has bacon with jalapeno in it. Oh, and those breakfast burritos, scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage, cheese, onions, tomatoes, sauce. Oh, yeah, that's good. Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. Let's move on over to Burgers, etc. 124 South Oneida in Rupert, 700 Overland in Burley. Spicy chicken combo, including fries and a drink. Oh, my. And don't forget, they've got all the delicious burgers. And starting at the end of this month, they're going to have hot soup daily. You better stop in. Great people, great service, great food at 2 locations of Burgers, etc. in Rupert and Burley. Moving over now to Steve-O's at 290 South, 600 West of Heyburn. Holy cow. You can download a free app on your smartphone, and you can now order for Steve-O's, and you don't have to go there first. No, you can just order over the phone, and it'll be ready for you when you get there. Wow. Great food at Steve-O's. New salad called the Chaos Salad, and they've got all kinds of, listen to this, chicken breast with bacon, pickles, jalapeno peppers, and all the goodies on that salad. Friendly people, great food. Steve-O's, 290 South, 600 West of Heyburn. And last but not least, Doc's Pizza, right on the square in Rupert, 514 6th Street in Rupert. Oh, you got to try one of those loaded Idaho baked potatoes every Wednesday during lunch. Really, really good. And don't forget, football and pizza go together. What a great place to go right there at Doc's Pizza. And harvest parties are happening. You can reserve the upstairs for any large party. Better give them a call. Doc's Pizza in Rupert, 436-3300. And those are just a few great places to go if you're hungry and starving to death. We're going to take a break, go to the news. I'll be back in 7 minutes. Oh, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Zeb at the Ranch, hour number 3 on a Thursday, brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations with a big fall tire sale going on right now. And, of course, some of our great advertisers like Western Waste Services, always at your disposal. Call them at 734-6969. In just a few moments, we're going to have our Cassia County School Days, so stay tuned for that. And first and foremost, I want to remind you, too, about Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox with the indoor home comfort systems. Oh, my goodness, you can get up to a $1,600 rebate on a new Lennox home comfort system. All you need to do is call Ramsey Heating and Electric today at 678-0459. Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox, saving you money. By the way, my old buddy Joe Bennett stopped by the house the other day, and of course, the Bennett Boys Auction Service, woo, are they ever putting on a lot of auctions. They've got a dandy coming up this Saturday, the Frank Orth Estate and Gloria Orth Auction at 10:30 a.m. this coming Saturday, October 7th, located over in Wendell, Idaho. Now listen, this is going to be really kind of a unique sale because it's located at 1903 East, 3400 South of Wendell. But along with all the tractors and the farm equipment and the shop equipment and the tools and the lawn and garden items and the sporting items, there's going to be a lot of antiques. Now, I did not know about this, but the Guardian service set that has over 150 pieces to it is going to be sold. And then I understand there is an amazing collection of old antique cookie jars. All of this and so much more at this sale coming up this next Saturday, October 7th. Located in Wendell, Idaho at 1903 East, 3400 South. Bennett Boys Auction Service putting on the Orth Estate Auction, and that's coming up on this Saturday. Don't you miss it. For more information, call my buddy Joe Bennett at 539-0111. Oh, my goodness sakes. Right now, we're going to get all set to go with Cassia County School Days. And, of course, we have two wonderful sponsors for that segment. And they are, of course, Child's World at 1308 Overland in Burley with all the scrubs and the cribs. A lot of people like to wear those scrubs. They're so comfortable. And all the baby cribs and all the baby furniture and all the toys and the puzzles and the books. And, of course, they've got the top-rated #1 car seat by Chico. All of this and more at A Child's World in Burley. You stop in and see them today. Along with the Ambulatory Surgery Center, I almost bit my tongue, Surgery Center at 1344 Highland Avenue, Suite E in Burley. Ambulatory Surgery Center, of course, saving you money on your outpatient surgeries like life-saving colonoscopies, carpal tunnel surgery. Oh my goodness, give them a call and find out more at 677-8888. Ambulatory Surgery Center and A Child's World, bringing you school days in Cassia County. Right now we have the director of the Regional Technical Center in Burley, Curtis Richens, on the phone. Good morning, Curtis. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing, sir?
Not too bad. Boy, heavy on the sir part. Make sure you stand up and salute. There you go. Curtis, tell me a little bit about what you do and where you're located and what kind of education you provide. Go ahead, tell us about it.
We are, for the regional area, mainly for Cassia County, but we do have some Valley School kids coming over too. But we do all of the VOTEC programs for the high schools in Cassia County except for the ag, business, and foods programs, and they are located in our different schools. Something that's really been really interesting to what we're doing is we've been working with several of the large equipment companies in town, namely Stotz Equipment and Scows Truck Service and some others. And they approached us, as well as Minidoka County Schools, in about the middle of May about a diesel apprenticeship program. And the way that all came about was actually had Victor from Stotz Equipment call me and say, hey, I'm told you're the person to talk to. And I said, what do you need? And he says, hey, I want to hire your kids. And I said, Victor, these are high school kids. And he says, I know, I want to hire them. He says, we're having a hard time finding good technicians. And so he got a hold of Minidoka County School District also. So the two school districts and Chet Jepson from the Department of Labor here in Burley put together a bunch of different companies that do the diesel and need the diesel technicians. And we've all been working on putting together an apprenticeship program for the high school kids in the area on both sides of the river. We've been working together, and we've come to the part. We've been doing this all summer, and we come to the part right now where the companies are actually coming into the schools and presenting to our diesel students specifically the seniors, about what the diesel industry is all about, but then more particular, they'll come back and tell the kids what their particular business and what they particularly work on and how they can help the kids out. And so the two diesel programs over at Minico High School and then the diesel program here at the Cassia Regional Tech Center, we get the kids started in a program for juniors and seniors, and then it'll be after the first of the year, maybe even into May, the kids will go in and work for those companies that sponsor them. And so the kids will be getting credits for high school for their diesel classes, but at the same time, they'll be working for the companies that will more than likely, if they work out, more than likely hire them with a guaranteed job after they get out of high school. It's pretty cool.
You know, and I'm going to ask you to speak up just a little bit, Curtis. You got a really soft voice, and we need to make sure we hear everything. I've got some obvious questions for you. First and foremost, do the students, have to meet any certain criteria or have certain grades or whatever before they can become a part of this program?
Well, what we've decided with the two school districts, as well as the companies that are involved that are sponsoring these kids, we've decided that the companies are going to treat these kids just as they would any other employee, which means the kids have to show an interest, they have to fill out an application, they have to be interviewed by the company, they have to be recommended by the two diesel programs, and then when all of that's in place, just like any other job, then the company will decide that they want to sponsor that student, and away we go. Now, as far as grade point average, that type of thing, that has not been discussed, but just like any other job interview and any other job application process, it'll be the same standards, the same type of situation there. So it gives these kids some good experience, and if things work out for everybody concerned, and that student, when they graduate high school, that student will have a job with that company that sponsored them, and then those companies, we've talked about it, and they can put those kids through further schooling, either in their own private company-sponsored schools or on to CSI and that type of thing. So it's been a real good deal, and CSI has been a major part of this too.
Let me ask you this, and I don't mean to sound like I'm trying to pick it apart, but I'm just asking obvious questions. Number one, are they going to be doing the actual repairs on certain equipment with the overseeing of a paid adult that works for the company?
Yes, they will have a mentor for sure, and just like any other job and an entry-level position, you don't throw an entry-level person into saying, okay, here's an engine, rebuild it. But they grow into that through this 2-year program. And so it's not like throwing these kids to the wolves and saying, okay, you're going to do this or you won't be in this program next week because you didn't get it done. But they will have a paid mentor that is one of the company's employees, yes.
Okay, what about the kids themselves? I mean, if they are doing the labor and doing the chore of the reparation of the equipment, is there any remuneration to them or to you as the school?
Yes, and that's what's nice about this program, and that's what's nice about having the Department of Labor involved, is because OSHA has a requirement that we can't let 16 and 17-year-old kids, we can't let minors in these big, heavy-duty shops. And so there's a program the Department of Labor has. It's called the STRAP Apprenticeship Program, and that's part of this process that we've been doing. Is one of the requirements is there has to be aligned with, our high school programs have to be aligned with a college program, and so CSI has been involved. And so we've gone through and identified a curriculum, identified the steps, that type of thing for this 2-year process. And so once that's all identified, then the companies sign a contract with the Department of Labor saying, yes, we will do X, Y, Z for these kids, and it will become a bootstrap apprenticeship program through the Department of Labor. And once that takes place, then the OSHA requirements will meet those OSHA requirements. So these 16 and 17-year-old kids can go in the shops. And part of that strap apprenticeship program is these kids will be getting a paycheck as they're doing this process or this program with these companies.
You know, this idea and this concept, to me, is long overdue. I think that this is just absolutely a very important cog in the wheel. And I've said this on my program for a long time, Curtis, that everybody always pushes college. Oh, well, go to college, go to this university. No, I think a lot of these kids, a lot of these really hard-working kids that want to make something out of themselves, but they don't want to go to college, this is the kind of program where they can literally jump in with both feet, learn something, learn a profession, and get paid for it at the same time, and be contributory members instead of a lot of these kids just professional students doing nothing.
You know, there's a lot of people that feel that way, and higher education is a good thing, but we need to combine that with some skills that the kids can actually go out and make a living and earn a wage. And if they choose to go to higher education, that's great, but they can be working their way through school rather than getting this long-term student debt. And what's been very, very fun and interesting and exciting about this program is we have industry, we have businesses are the catalyst saying we need workers, we want local workers, coming to the school districts, coming to CSI saying, hey, what program can we put together so that we can get our kids to stay local and work here? And these kids around here are they're phenomenal workers, and they're excited about the program, and it's just been a really fun process to go through. And this diesel program, we kind of put it on the fast track, but we've also been working with McCain's, we've been working especially with High Desert Milk, and we've been, working with Fabri-Cal and to put together what's called a machine operator apprenticeship program that's very, very similar to the diesel program. And so we're opening up different areas and different interests for kids. And again, what's been the fun, what's been exciting to me as a school administrator is to seeing the businesses and the industry in this area really taking a hold of this and pushing us and saying, come on, we need to get our kids ready to work for us, and we want the kids to stay here. And it's just been a wonderful thing.
You know, Curtis, right there is a good point that we need to discuss for just a minute. I'm almost out of time. But the labor force in America is absolutely lacking, and I don't understand why. There are people out there that are sitting at home eating bonbons, turning on the TV with their feet up on the couch, and yet employers are begging for people to come to work. What's going on here?
I have my personal opinions on that. I hear the same thing around in the news in different places. What I found in the schools is the kids in our area, in the Minidoka County and Caddo County, in this area, they want to work. They're excited about it. They want to work. They want to make money. They want to do things that they're interested in. And so we've been very, very fortunate in this area that we have people that have a good work ethic, and the kids have a good work ethic, and we've been very, very fortunate. And that's part of the reason why, in my personal opinion, why we're seeing all this growth in industry and people moving in here is because of our work ethic and because of our way of life. And in my experience, these kids coming through high school, the ones that are in the VOTEC programs, the one in what's called the Career and Technical Education program, as well as others, are really hard workers, and they know what they want to do, and they're going to go after it.
Absolutely.
They're really, really hard workers.
Absolutely. Curtis, I salute you. Curtis Richens, the director of the Regional Technical Center. Come back and tell us how this is working out in the future. I'd really like to know.
I'll do that, and we're going to be putting together some more apprenticeship programs like this with other programs in the district, and working with Minidoka County School District, and we'll get things going. So thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, sir. And anytime you want to come on this program, just please call and let us know, and we'll get you on here, I promise.
Great, I appreciate it. And last time I was on here was a couple of years ago, and I think you said you were going to buy me lunch.
You know, I don't remember that, but I certainly will. Thanks, Curtis. Appreciate it.
Tried to shame you into it. Have a good day.
God bless. Thank you so much. And, of course, School Days in Cassia County brought to you by two great businesses, The Child's World at 1308 Overland in Burley and the Ambulatory Surgery Center at 1344 Highland Avenue, Suite E in Burley. Number to call, 677-8888. I guess if I owe him lunch, I better take him to lunch. Hey, by the way, too, don't forget Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center at 924 Christian Way in Rupert, the only locally owned and operated assisted living facility in the entire Mini-Cassia area. And you know what? They really are able to provide more one-on-one care. If you have a relative, a loved one that needs that special one-on-one care, this is the place for you to go see and the number to call, 436-3200, Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center at 924 Christian Way in Rupert. Absolutely, they make every effort to make Autumn Haven the best place. They're small compared to some, but with a bigger heart than most. Right now, let's go back to the phone line, and a very, very good friend on behalf of Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company CPAs, providing accounting services to the Mini-Cassia area for over 50 years, and Wheels is going to tell me that he couldn't get him. Right?
No, the secretary is just making sure that he's available.
Well, you tell the secretary he is available because he's scheduled to come on the air right now, please, if you would. So we're waiting patiently to get Leiden Crane on our program here this morning. Coming up at about 10:30 this morning, I've got a special reading that I want to share with you. It was written by Ted Nugent, and it's called A Time to Kneel. And we're going to have that on the air at, of course, 10:32 this morning. Wheels, is he there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Leiden, good morning to you. Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company, CPAs. Give us a little background on your business. What do you do?
We do taxes. That's the main part of our business, and this time of year we're really busy getting all of our extensions done. We help individuals and businesses and with their annual filings, with tax planning, and payroll, those type of services.
You know, Leiden, the president and this administration are talking about tax changes and budget changes. What do you as an accountant do? Roll your eyes and say, oh my gosh, here goes $1 million worth of paperwork and we've got to start studying again?
Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes we joke with each other that we're not even going to read it until it gets passed because it's going to change 5 times between then and now. But there are some changes I think that could go through. Again, the final version of what that will look like is still to be seen. But a couple of the areas we're really watching are the itemized deductions, which are what will affect every household in America. That would include your mortgage interest, your state deductions, charitable deductions. They've talked about eliminating some of those, but also increasing the amount of the standard deductions. And that could have an impact on everybody's return.
Let me ask you this. When people hear the words or the letters CPAs, do they really understand the services that you provide for them, their families, and their businesses?
At certain times of the year, they certainly do. We get very popular around deadlines. But there are certain services that we can offer during other times of the year, too, that can make those deadline times a little less stressful, and that includes, tax planning, payroll services, business planning for how to set up a company and when to maybe sell a business. Those type of things can be very useful when we're not right in the crux of tax season.
Well, you're kind of like the NFL officials that if there's a penalty, you've got to know the rule book so that you can help both teams, right?
Yes, and unlike the NFL officials, though, we tend to favor our clients, and we're trying to look out for them, more than we are the government. But at the same time, we do provide, that kind of cautionary flag to say, hey, before you do that, you might want to stop and think about it, because these are the rules that the IRS has got out there, and you don't want to run afoul of those.
And that you help all facets of businesses here in the Magic Valley, like agricultural, manufacturing, food production, etc., construction businesses, and all people have to do is just basically pick up the phone and call. Now, you've got 2 locations. Why don't you tell us exactly where they're located?
Our Burley location is at 1710 Overland Avenue, and this has been our location for over 50 years now. We do have a practice in Rupert, too, on F Street, which is just off of the square next to U.S. Bank, and can find us there 5 days a week from 8 until 5:30 at night.
And again, a phone call to set up an appointment and ask questions. And really, I've only got a minute left, but should all people be aware with the changes in taxation and the changes in how to fill out the tax forms, they'd be probably a lot better ahead to work with folks like you at Phillips Oaks Goodwin Crane and Company.
Yes, I definitely, and we're still waiting on, again, a final draft on some of those items, but it is coming up, and I know people are watching it closely, and as the tax year starts to wind up, I think we'll get some more guidance on that, and, set up an appointment. We'll be glad to go over those changes with you and how they'll affect your return.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question that really doesn't hold water, because sometimes you're there early in the morning until late at night, but what are the hours of the office?
We are open officially from 8 to 5 until December, and then once we get into January through April, we will be open until 6 p.m. And you can, as you well know, you can find me at 4:30 in the morning here occasionally, too. So,
I know that.
I'll pick up the phone whenever I'm here.
Oh. Well, God bless you, Leyden Crane with Phillips Oaks Goodwin Crane and Company. CPAs providing accounting services to the Mini-Cash area for well over 50 years. Leyden, thank you much, and enjoy a beautiful weekend.
Thank you, Zeb. Appreciate it. Have a great one.
All right, sir. Thank you much. Right now, we're going to send it back over to our main studios, and then we'll be back with more Zeb at the Ranch in just a few minutes.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
Thank you very much, and welcome back to our last segment on the program for this week. I'm going to read a little story, if you will, from Ted Nugent. Yes, the same Ted Nugent that was the rock and roll star and also a very avid hunter. And this is one of the best pieces I have ever read at any time that basically tells the story to these professional athletes, the overpaid, underworked prima donnas that are taking a knee or sitting during our national anthem. It's called A Time to Kneel, written by Ted Nugent. Take a little trip to Valley Forge in January. Hold a musket ball in your fingers and imagine it piercing your flesh and breaking a bone or two. There won't be a doctor or a trainer to assist you until after the battle, so just wait your turn. Take your cleats and socks off to get a real experience. And then take a knee. Then take a knee on the beach in Normandy, where man after American man stormed the beach, even as the one in front of him was shot to pieces. The very sea stained with American blood. The only blockers most had were the dead bodies in front of them, riddled with bullets from enemy fire. Take a knee in the sweat-soaked jungles in Vietnam. From Quezon to Saigon, anywhere will do. Americans died in all those jungles. There was no playbook that told them what was next, but they knew what flag they represented. And when they came home, they were protested as well and spit on for reasons only cowards know. Take another knee in the blood-drenched sands of Fallujah in 110-degree heat. Wear your Kevlar helmet and battle dress. Your number won't be printed on it unless your number is up. You'll need to stay hydrated, but there won't be anyone to squirt Gatorade into your mouth. You're on your own now. There are a lot of places to take a knee where Americans have given their lives all over the world. When you use the banner under which they fought as a source for your displeasure, you dishonor the memories of those who bled for the very freedoms you have. That's what the red stripes mean. It represents the blood of those who spilled a sea of it defending your liberty. While you're on your knee, pray for those that came before you, not on a manicured lawn, striped and printed with numbers to announce every inch of ground taken, but on nameless hills and bloodied beaches and sweltering forests and bitter cold mountains, every inch marked by an American life lost serving that flag you protest. No cheerleaders, no announcers, no coaches, no fans, just American men and women delivering the real fight against those who choose to harm us, blazing a path so you would have the right to take a knee. You haven't any inkling of what it took to get you where you are, but your protest is duly noted. Not only is it disgraceful to a nation of real heroes, it serves the purpose of pointing to your ingratitude for those who chose to defend you under that banner that will still wave long after your jersey is retired. If you really feel the need to take a knee, come with me to church on Sunday, and we'll both kneel before Almighty God. We'll thank Him for preserving this country for as long as He has. We'll beg forgiveness for our ingratitude for all He has provided us. We'll appeal to Him for understanding and wisdom. We'll pray for liberty and justice for all, because He is the one who provides those things. But there will be no protest. There will be only gratitude for His provision and a plea for His continued grace and mercy on the land of the free and the home of the brave. It goes like this: God bless America. Whoa. That is absolutely one of the best articles that I have ever read in my life. A Time to Kneel. Calls are welcome. 436-2244. 1-866-927-4587. My complete disdain, I'm just going to come right out and say it, my hatred for what's going on with these athletes today. That, woe is me, I had a bad childhood growing up, woe is me, as they turn the key in their Porsche or their BMW to go home after their multi-million-dollar game and condemn and damn America and disrespect it by sitting during our national anthem. This has got to stop. This has got to stop. Your thoughts, give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I really, really hope that this weekend, with the NFL games, college games, high school games, whatever, that common sense is going to prevail, and these athletes will see the error in their ways. Oh, they say, like Colin Kaepernick, that they're protesting police brutality. You know what? Every segment of society, any society, has certain bad influences or bad apples in that part of society. Everyone does. Everything does. But to lump everybody together like he did when he started this mess by wearing the stocks, pigs showing as policemen, and denigrating all police, and denigrating the military, and then this thing has been picked up by others, and now it's in a full-fledged war, if you will, against our military, our police, and decency and respect for our flag. As of this morning, I hope, if this continues, that it will show and collectively mean a complete demise of the National Football League. It wouldn't bother me at all if they went totally broke because of their slapping the face of Americans that have served them and lost their lives for them. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hello, Zeb. I caught into your program today, and it's really heartfelt, touching. And that was wonderful. Can you tell me who wrote that?
I did at the beginning. It was written by Ted Nugent, and a man that a lot of people would not appreciate the fact that he has that ability. He's a former rock and roll star, avid hunter. He's on TV quite a bit on the Hunting Channel, and I think it's one of the best pieces I have ever read at any time.
Yes, it is. And I agree with you until they can put forth their effort. And so I've noticed some that's in the NFL has served, but until the majority who wants to cry and take a knee is put forth their everything to defend their country, to make the right, they just need to sit down and shut up. I'm tired of hearing them crying and whining about the oppression. They haven't felt oppression, and I hope they never do.
All right, sir. I appreciate your calls and your comments. Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, I just can't imagine. And I remember it was a couple of weeks ago that it was on, I think, the Sunday night broadcast for the NFL game, and it was discussed that, we've got to listen to their stories. We've got to hear their tales of all the sad, harrowing experiences they had growing up. You know what? I said this the other day on the program, and I had a lot of people call me and agree with me. We all have a story. We have all had to overcome adversity. We have all had to maybe really pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and try to be somebody and try to overcome problems. I did. I had a lot of them health-wise. And I'm not about to sit during the national anthem and show disrespect. Why are their problems so much more so than your problems or my problems? Like I said, the world is a problem in itself. Life isn't easy. But why do we let these athletes have the idea, that they're so much worse off than the rest? And sit and show disrespect for people that have literally put their lives on the line for them. And they still are every day. The police, our military, other service people with quick response units, etc., serving people, like what happened in Las Vegas. And these pampered prima donnas take a knee or sit on the bench? I absolutely agree with Donald Trump. Absolutely agree when he used language that maybe was a shade off color when he said the SOBs ought to be fired. I feel the same way. Time for the weather forecast brought to you by Scarrows Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. The number to call, 324-7657. Or you can go to their website, scarrowsmeats.com. Delicious meats. I mean, everything. The pastrami's, the salamis, the bratwurst. I love the bratwurst. Everything. Marinated meats. Smoked meats. It's all there at Scarrows Meats in Jerome. Once again, 331 North Road, Jerome. You be sure and give them them a call. They are absolutely the best, and they bring us now our weather.
Here's your weather forecast as we saddle up and ride again for another Thursday. Today going to be very nice. Going to see some sunshine, looking at a high of 58 for today. Going to be slightly breezy. Winds out of the east-northeast right around 8 miles an hour, becoming north by the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low right near 36. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high of 63. Slightly breezy winds out of the west-southwest right around 10 to 16 miles an hour. Gusts possible as high as 24. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low of 41. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high of 66. For Sunday, partly cloudy skies, looking at a high of 55. That's your weather for Zebeth Ranch.
Thank you, Gina, and brought to everybody this hour by Don Scarrow and the crew at Scarrow's Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. Again, they are changing the way we eat, one delicious bite at a time. Scarrow's Meats. Come on, folks, give me a call. Great way to wrap up the program for this week. I'd like to hear your comments. And 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Unfortunately, what Kaepernick started, and with many of the crybaby athletes after him, demanding that Kaepernick get a place on a football team somewhere in the NFL, I'm certainly glad the young man is unemployed. I'm certainly glad that he may never come back to show his talents or whatever's left of his talents with any team in the NFL. I'm hard-nosed about this because I think our country, our military, our police, the undersung heroes every day, they do not deserve this disrespect and this crybaby attitude of, oh, well, I was arrested one time and I think it was police brutality. I have no sympathy. I have no sympathy. Give me a call and let me know what your thoughts are. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Like to hear from you is evidently the dog. Ruby always lets us know when there's somebody at the door, I can tell you that. So give me a call quickly if you would. Sharon Hardy Mills has done our program before. And she's always talked about a grab-and-go bag to make the difference in the case of an emergency. And I was going through a magazine the other day, and every single thing that Sharon had told us was amplified in kind of a cartoon drawing as to what kind of a bag to get and what kind of things to put in that bag. And with all the things that are happening with natural disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes, and everything else, and then also the need that maybe we never know what's going to happen in the future and be prepared, this picture on this magazine article really laid it out as to how to pack this bag and what needs to be in it, along with basic electronics like pack an extra phone charger in case you're fortunate to have electricity, and maybe have a little AM/FM radio. Personal needs, don't forget, while getting ready, you need to have all your little toiletries. You can buy them in smaller containers, and multi-purpose tool kit with a knife, along with clothing. And they said, just like Sharon had told us, pack a couple of days' worth of clothes, including clothes that you can layer. And she mentioned sweatsuits and sweatpants and nylon jackets and that type of thing, and that's what they say. Pack about 3 days' worth of medicine in case you're not able to get back to your home and not able to have your prescriptions. And write the numbers down on those prescriptions, too. That's very, very important. And then also make sure the bag is really portable. Make sure you got a bag that you can grab by handle and whoop, out the door you go. And then have a zip-top waterproof bag with photocopies of your birth certificate, driver's license, Social Security card, Medicare cards, everything, along with a little bit of food and drink, bottled water, very essential, granola or energy bars, and last but not least, a little cash. A little cash rolled up that might really help you for a couple of days when you can't get to the ATM machine or the bank. So Sharon was spot on when she gave us this list a couple of weeks ago on the program. A grab-and-go bag can really make a difference, literally, in life or death. So I appreciate what her comments were on the radio. Calls welcome. Quickly, give me a jingle on the landline, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I'd like to hear from you. What happened to all my audience here all of a sudden? Give me a jingle. While I'm waiting for your call, whoop, there it is, right on time. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Zeb. Happy belated birthday.
Well, thank you.
Yes, I know you're not getting older. You're just getting better.
Yeah, I'll keep that concept in mind.
Hey, thanks for reading that about that Ted wrote. I couldn't agree more. We all need to stand up against the NFL and what they're doing because it's not right.
Well, I thank you for that, but unfortunately what I see, and I hope it stops, is the younger generation picking up on this. As little as maybe 8- and 9-year-olds at Pee-wee football games are starting to do the same thing. And I hold the parents and the coaching staffs accountable.
Parents and grandparents.
Amen. Amen.
And also, to get back to Hillary, that woman that you talked about earlier that won't go away, I hate to even say her name. Being a woman, I respect and appreciate President Trump. I don't have any respect for her.
You know, I just figured out who this is, and over at the station, the feed line's got a lot of static on it. Turn it down a little bit, Wheels. I really appreciate your call. It's always good to hear from your smiling face. Thanks so much, and God bless.
Thanks, Zeb. Take care.
All right. Thank you. Caller number 2, you're on the air. Quickly, go ahead.
Hi, Zeb.
Yes, sir.
Hey, in 1985, I went to California, and I had a brand new car. And I was coming back through Vegas, and a policeman pulled me over, and one of the taillights was out. And I pulled over, and he says, you got a tail light not working? And I said, yeah. Well, I told him, no. I said, it's a new car. It should be working. And he cussed me out. I couldn't believe it. He called me a SOB and just really ripped into me for no reason whatsoever. And I looked at it. I said, well, what in the world? And so I opened the trunk and I reached over and shook the wire up there, where it comes out on top, a lot of cars. Anyhow, I shook the wire and the light came on. And then he says, okay, he says, I closed the trunk and you're okay, go on. I could not understand the actions.
Yeah, but wait a minute. I think you'll agree with me that your case and others perhaps like this are minuscule and not indicative of police forces in general.
Well, I placed it in that situation that he's probably pulled over several people before me, and they probably were pretty shady characters. And I had a wife and 2 children in the car, and I was heading for Idaho. He probably just had a bad day. I don't know.
And the thing is, let's just face it. There is sometimes a collective profiling by people in authority. I can't help it, you can't help it, etc. But the facts are that a lot of these black football players, etc., are saying, oh, woe is me, I had such a bad childhood, etc. Right now they are millionaires living in the land of opportunity, playing a game, a kid's game, and making millions of dollars, and my compassion is not there for them.
Well, right, and football players, they are an example to our young people. Not that they're, physically fit and everything, but they're also an example of what a man should be. And this day and age, the way we're being portrayed that a man should be effeminate and a sissy, these guys have the opportunity to put an example out there where the nation will go that direction rather than the way the nation is going.
I agree with you. I got to run and do a commercial and wrap up the show, but thank you for your viewpoint this morning. Always appreciate your call. Thank you, sir.
Already.
God bless. Don't forget your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, the big fall tire sale going on right now at all 7 locations. I mean it. Stop in. Get the tires you need for safe fall and winter driving right now, because at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, doing the right thing matters, and they have and provide to you the best of service on all the tires you need, the front end alignments, the shocks and the struts, the batteries, everything. Stop in and see Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Pole Line in Twin Falls, and my buddy Randy on Overland in Burley. The absolute best. We're, like I said, doing the right thing matters. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Got to run. Damon, wish you the best. God's blessings to you this weekend, and we'll talk to everybody on Monday. Zeb at the Ranch right here on KBAR 1230, streaming live on the internet all over the world on ZebBell.com. And remember, the way things were are the way things ought to be. See you then.